So, TFue Faze. This is something I definitely wanted to discuss with you guys for a while. I know you guys have been talking to me about it in the past. You guys have been asking my opinion on it, and I wanted to do a little more extensive research on it before I personally made comments on it. Now, the reason for that was, you know, I definitely wanted some more facts and details to come out. And I'm going to give my pure and honest opinion on it. Not any bias. As you guys know, like, I don't have any stake in TFue. I don't have any stake in Faze. You know, I'm not like a fanboy of either one of them. So, you know, I get to make a very unbiased opinion on it all. Faze is not a talent agency. They don't get to just represent someone and just be like, hey, this is our client, this and that, because they're not, one, they're not lawyers, they're not agents, and they're not a talent agency. Wow. That was unique. So they're technically misrepresenting, and they're actually what a lot of these orgs, from what Ryan Morenson, who is the owner of Elevate, said, a lot of these orgs, what they do is when they're signing you, is they say, hey, look, we're gonna be your agent, we're gonna be your lawyer, we're gonna represent you to, you know, potential organizations when it comes to sponsorships. And according to his deal, Faze would take 80% of the money, and TFue would get 20% of the money. That is a violation of, one, the California State Labor Commission, as well as the California State Talent Agencies Act. So you're not allowed to take more than 20% of anything when it comes to finder's fee, anything when representing an agent, when you're an agent representing talent. So in that case, the contract is actually technically illegal, and anything that was at the moment taken in from there is actually owed to TFue. Good question. TFue lives in Florida, though, doesn't he? When he signed the contract, he signed it while in California. And technically, Faze operates in California. Even though they are a Delaware entity, they do that for tax purposes. But they operate their business, and their main business operation is out of California. So it was under California jurisdiction. I'm going to throw everything aside. We're going to throw aside the fact that they have a 12-year-old playing on Faze, which is already illegal to the point. We're going to throw aside the stuff that he said about having them illegally gamble, having them illegally drink, and perform stunts. We're going to throw all that to the side. We're just going to get into the in-depth about the contract itself and about all that. A lot of people then say, you know, TFue's biting the hand that feeds you, right? And I want to bring up a few charts for you guys to see something very, very unique. All right, so here we go. TFue signs right around here, right? He signs right around March. And obviously, ever since he signed, you know, he makes his way up and just keeps going up, just keeps going up, just keeps going up. And obviously, with the whole scandal going on, everyone's just searching for him. Now let's look at Faze. So, Faze actually, right, around this time was when 72 hours had left Faze, and their numbers had actually started dipping. And watch the correlation of once they got TFue. As he went up, they went up. Look, they went to a career high when he was on a high. Look at this. As all the trends stated that once TFue joined, Faze's numbers went back up after a major dip. It was a mutually beneficial relationship. Everyone has this whole thing of, you know, Faze made TFue, he owes them everything. But in my eyes, he doesn't, because they both benefit each other. And he wanted out of the contract, and he tried getting out of the contract, you know, a decent amount of times, according to what his lawyers said, according to what the lawyers over at, you know, Faze had said, was that he had personally actually tried getting out of the contract multiple times, and their excuse for not letting him out is they kept giving him better offers, But once you find out that you are royally screwed and you have zero opportunity to work on your own and get your own type of deals when you're that size, it doesn't benefit you at all to be with this organization, no matter how hard they tried. And once you realize that they tried to screw you the first time you worked together, why would you want to work with them, you know? It's like if you had a boyfriend or girlfriend and they cheated on you, and then they said, you know what, I'm never going to cheat again, and I'll even start cooking and taking care of you all the time, so you don't have to worry about anything. There's a level of trust that's broken and a level of business that you no longer want to work with these people. And that being said, I don't think he owed Faze anything at that point. And I personally think that Faze should have let him go from the contract. They had a very lame excuse over at Faze. They said that they owe it to the fans because the fans have invested so much in TFue. And the only reason they invested in TFue is because of Faze. And that could be right, but you don't hold someone hostage because you think you owe it to your fans when you have an illegal contract and the guy's saying he wants out of the contract. And he doesn't want any of your other deals. They've only said multiple times, you know, we've only collected X amount. But because of the way that contract stated and everything, they technically, since he signed it and they could have taken that money, they could right now try to pull that money. But because the contract's illegal, they'd have to owe that money back to him. So and I think that's a major reason why they haven't taken any of that money. I think that they just, when you're in that type of deal and you're in that type of organization, you're put in such a situation where you know that the platform that's given to you elevates you so high, you know? And if you're, let's say, someone like my size, where you're given that type of platform and whatever money's taken is taken, you're not going to go fight it once you find out it's illegal, because the platform given to you is going to then go away. He no longer needs that platform, right? But the big thing that he's doing is, for the future now, people aren't going to be put in these type of situations and these type of contracts, because I think there's going to be repercussions to Faze. Could they lose their business license? Yes. Could they just get a probationary period and a major fine? More than likely, that's what's going to happen. Do I think TFue is going to get all the money back that he's owed, that's been collected on these deals? And he's suing for damages, so he's going to say that, you know, every single month that he was in this illegal contract, he missed out on X amount of dollars. They'll probably settle that outside of court, and or if they go through the whole process, it's going to be a multiple year process. These type of deals take like 4, 5, 6, 7, even 8 years before, you know, it's put in front of a judge and everything's figured out on what's owed, what kind of judgment's going to be put there and everything like that, what kind of money they're going to collect on. And it's not going to be like a tomorrow type thing. We're not going to get this resolved anytime soon. So I think that that's just like, it's setting a precedent for the future. And I think it's a good precedent, because hopefully kids don't get put into this situation. You know, he was 20 years old. For all we know, he was flown in there, sitting in front of a boardroom of all the Faze members. And he was probably told, hey, look, you're going to be on our team now. We're going to blow you up, this and that. Sign this. You're good to go. Let's do it. And being like 19, 20 years old, you know, in the situation he was in, knowing how good he was, he probably didn't read the contract. He honestly probably just sat there and goes, I'm about to be in Faze, and this guy promised me, Banks promised me a phenomenal situation to be in. There's no reason for me to think that I'm not going to be in this amazing situation. He probably just signed it. It's not, I don't think it was a personal shot at Banks. I think it was him being completely done with Faze. And till the day he sued them, he never said anything bad about them. He used all their overlays, everything, retweeted everything, liked everything. Once they went through with the lawsuit, he said what he had to say. From everything he told us, everything's true. You know, it just came out today that, what's his name? I believe his name is High Sky. He's actually 12 years old. So he's not allowed to have a YouTube. He's not allowed to be a Twitch partner, and he's not allowed to be in an organization. So they're going to have a lot of trouble with that. So, you know, he didn't lie about that. He said multiple times that the 80-20 was not for winnings or anything, which they kept on trying to cover their butts for. It was for brand deals, which is again, I want to state this again for you guys to understand. It's illegal. It is not legal to take more than 20% on those type of deals. And it's also illegal that they misrepresented him, saying that they were his agents and lawyers when it came to brand deals. And it's not cheap to have an agent. It's not cheap to have a lawyer. It's not cheap to, you know, try to go represent yourself. So a lot of these guys, once they're in the contracts, they're stuck. And they don't know any better, because if they have a brand deal and they go, hey, here's $10,000, you're not going to say no. You're going to take the $10,000, right? Because that's what the company that you signed a deal with is telling you. But once you get to a certain size and you realize that you're being screwed, you want out, right? And he did it, in my eyes, the right way. He gave them months. If you look at the emails that they had Faze send, it was multiple attempts of them saying, hey, we don't want to renegotiate, we want out of this contract. And all they did was just try to counter offer contracts, hoping TFue just says, I'll just sign a contract with them. But Faze has non-competes. Faze has clause in their contract where you have to go through them for brand deals, because it might interfere with the Faze brand deals they already have. And it didn't make sense for TFue. So he, in my eyes, didn't do this for some own personal crazy gain. I'm sure that if there was a fair deal in the first place, we would have never heard about this. If there was an opportunity for him to have his own agent and say, hey, guys, I'm getting my own deals and I'll still be a member of Faze in terms of competing, but when it comes to brand deals, don't want any part of this, he'd probably be okay with it. But once you realize that you're in an illegal contract, so bizarre, as he even said, so bizarre, where it's 4 times the legal limit, you personally would want out too. No matter what anyone says, no matter how many times people say, you know, Faze up, you know, I would have done anything to be in Faze. It's a two-way street where when you look at it, it could be any org. It could be anything. You could be in any org. It doesn't matter what you're in. If you're put in that situation, you would do it.